Welcome to Vitamin B with Mohana. This is where we help you take control of your well-being. My guest today is Dr. Sushma Gopalan, a psychologist who specializes in child life. Sushma and I are going to be touching upon a very serious topic, which is the culture of harassment in India. As per UNICEF, 1 in 3 children are experiencing bullying, and this trend seems to continue.
Bullying has become more common. There is no safety at home. The child is prone to bullying even when they are in the safe confines of their home.
Daily, children actually really struggle with peer pressure, and bullying has become more common.
And let me be very clear, it is not always the male who is bullying the female. We have cases where the female is also bullying the male. And bullying also changes as per the age, as per the type of school, the background they come from, the parenting at home.
30 to 36% of Indian children by the age of 15, 1 in 3 are actually, they have experienced bullying.
You have non-verbal bullying. For example, you come and sit, I can just roll my eyes every time you come and sit.
Cyberbullying is one which has become very common.
See, bullying, generally we look at it as something that happens to a weaker person. For example, if I roll my eyes and you also roll yours, say, what happened? I will not do it again. I might not do it again. But if you cover and sit, you're giving me that power. For children, you can't teach them with theory. You have to teach them with experience. And that comes in school and home and other environments.
So tell me why in India this continues to exist, right? Is there something culturally that we have, behaviorally and attitudinally, that contributes to bullying?
Probably the parents have to sit with the child and first understand what is the modeling behavior. That's where boundaries become very important. See, the amount of disrespect that you can also take. In adult, bullying is also termed as harassment, right?
That culturally is not right. I don't know why we are taught to tolerate disrespect a lot,
We have children who say, I'm better off alone than being with them.
Have you noticed a bullied child who became a bully? So why does this happen? Who is the bully? What is the psychology of the bully? And how can we have effective preventive mechanisms within our country? Ultimately, we want to create a culture of emotional understanding and resilience. So come join Sushma and me, where we talk about the entire aspect of bullying and what can be really done about it. So sit back and relax and join me at Vitamin B with Mohana. Hi Vitamin B community. We have always been very bullish about your health and your well-being. And I'm super happy today to be launching the very first merchandise which I know will make a difference to each one of us, which is the Vitamin B Granola. This granola has been in the making for over 2 years now, with our core team having it on a daily basis. So we felt it was important to spread the awareness and ensure each one of you has the opportunity to taste it and improve your health. Get your first pack, order now, and we are available in Namma Bengaluru, where we have a number of customers who have already promised us and validated that this product is truly nutritious. So check out the comments box where you have an opportunity to place your order in the link provided, or reach us on Instagram DM to get your first bag of Vitamin B Granola. I'll see you soon. Stay tuned, be healthy, and be confident.
Hi, Mohana.
Hey,
how are you doing?
I'm fabulous.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Why this?
Because I like it.
Doesn't suit your skin tone?
It doesn't suit my skin tone.
Doesn't. I think you should change, I don't get it. I always see you wearing these kinds. Are you sure it's good?
Yeah, it is. I know it's good, but what's wrong with it?
Doesn't suit you. I feel you should change, It looks funny.
It doesn't suit me.
Nah.
But everybody else said it's nice.
Probably they don't know what the style is about, but this is just not you. I think you should dial it down. I mean, come on.
But every week you tell me the same thing.
Yeah, but you don't listen, do you? I didn't mean to hurt you, but then, Doesn't. I think you should just change. It doesn't look. And come on, you can sit properly, you know.
I'm not sitting okay.
Nah, you are not. I think you need to sit properly.
I thought we were friends, but every week now you're telling me that this is not okay, that is not
Oh, so
okay.
you want me to stop telling you something?
No, it's not like that. But
I think you should just change, okay? Otherwise, it's just funny.
can you please come shopping with me? Maybe my style is not good.
Nah, can't do that. We can try, but if I have time, but I'm sorry about it. Yeah?
So you're busy, you can't come.
Nah, can't.
Then how will I change?
I don't know. It's your problem. Just do it. Okay? I'll see you next week. Bye.
Okay, bye.
How did you feel?
Oh God. But these are subtle steps.
Yeah.
It blowing up, right?
Yes. And it's such a subtle way of bullying, right? Somewhere you feel, you know, there's a narcissism here. There are so many tight words that come into it. And it was fun.
That's a great way to start. So welcome to Vitamin B, right? Dr. Sushma, it's a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you.
Great.
Thank you.
I've been meaning to talk to you a lot about this. And when we first connected, this topic was amongst many other things regarding children and child safety to, emotional health and so many dynamics that children go through. This was one that I think a lot of people can relate to.
Yeah.
Either, like you said, it doesn't have to be huge.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be extreme, but daily children actually really struggle with peer pressure and bullying has become more common.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It's a very interesting that you said here that bullying has become more common. So when you say has the prevalence increased, has the intensity and frequency increased? See, I have worked in schools for more than 10 plus years now. So I've been there as a teacher, I've worked this as a counselor. So I've seen boys, girls of all ages, right? Say from your nursery to your high school, go through these different phases of bullying. And bullying also changes as per the age, as per the type of school, the background they come from, the parenting at home. There are so many factors that is involved when we are talking about bullying. And we should actually thank I think Mr. Dan always, if I'm not wrong, 1978, he was the one who started researching on bullying.
Okay.
And there are few papers that have been published from India also on bullying. But one thing that is there in bullying is we focus on aggression. The person comes across as being aggressive when it comes to bullying. But bullying can be of various steps, right? No, I was not very aggressive on you, I hope. But the words were enough to make you question yourself.
Suddenly, I like that. That essentially it's about an aggressive form of behavior, and the person feels like they have to doubt themselves.
Yes.
Right? That you're questioning your own decision making. Right? Yeah.
So this is happening amongst adults.
Yeah.
And when that happens in a child, it's a very different game altogether, and it can create havoc in a child.
Yeah. So we'll get into those details as well.
Yeah.
But what is the landscape of India today in terms of just bullying, right? What's going on at a macro level? Has it increased, decreased? What are you observing?
Okay, let me ask you a question this way. Earlier, okay, when we finished school, we sound old, don't we? When we finish school, when we are done with school and we get back home, our connect with friends are only on a phone.
Yeah.
Or when we meet them to play or something.
Yeah.
But now is it the same?
It's not. It's not.
They're connected all the time. Yeah. You see social media is there. They go home and they log in and they're in touch with their friends. And now put in the concept of bullying.
Yeah.
So bullying has entered home. So you can say that the intensity and frequency has increased, where the reach is even more. There is no safety at home. The child is prone to bullying even when they are in the safe confines of their home. So it's actually a bit more serious now than it was before.
Wow.
And it's much more serious because now parents have a much bigger job, teachers, the caregivers, adults. It's not going to be easy.
Yeah. So would you say that the number of cases of people being open to reach out for help to counselors like yourself, psychologists like yourself, has that become a little better?
They don't come directly because it's bullying. Okay. They come because of some other reason for which the trigger is bullying. For example, the child might be brought to us because there is school absenteeism. The child doesn't want to go to school, or there is lack of appetite. Suddenly child is not eating anymore or is losing things at school and coming. the child is not able to manage books, snacks are getting stolen, bottles are broken, or the child who was scoring really well at school now is not performing the same.
Yeah.
Earlier, the child was having good number of friends. Now the child is isolating himself or herself.
Yeah.
So these are the reasons for which the children come to us. And when we do our intervention, when we do our counseling, then we find that most of these cases are connected to bullying, which is happening.
Wow.
So
Okay.
it takes some time, yeah.
Okay. So I want to ask this question. Is bullying limited to children only? Or can adults also feel bullied?
We just did. So yeah, adults do. Adults do feel bullied. And the bullying is given different names.
Yeah.
See, bullying happens in terms of gender also, right? So you have male, female. And let me be very clear, it is not always the male who is bullying the female. We have cases where the female is also bullying the male.
Absolutely.
Right? So male and male, female, female. So the gender specific bullying happens, racial, culture, sexual orientation, socio-economic status, cultural, religious. There are so many factors that is there when we are talking about bullying. It's more about domination. It is more about power. It is an intended gesture towards the other person.
Yeah.
So bullying happens in adults also.
Also, it continues, right?
Oh,
So
yeah.
adults can bully each other.
Oh yes.
And there are various scenarios, right? Let me guess. Workplace bullying.
Oh yeah.
Your boss bullying you.
Yes.
You bullying another peer.
Yeah.
Bunch of people ganging up and bullying one person in a team. Unfortunately, you get married, you get bullied by
The spouse. Yes.
the spouse, some parents.
Yes.
It happens. Right?
So what do you see in all this? When I say bullying, what are we looking for when we are talking about bullying? What are we aiming? When I bully you, what am I looking for?
I think you're trying to control the other person.
It's power.
It's power, right?
Yeah.
Essentially, it's just about control.
Yes.
And a lot of sense of control is beyond gender, and that's what people need to sort of in any fabric, right?
Yeah.
Not that, you know, from an organization perspective, because most of my life, in terms of my career, it's always been an organization. But I have also noticed that female leaders can be ruthless.
Yes.
Unfortunately. Then suddenly you start thinking, hey, you know, it's power, it's not gender.
Yes.
Right? So I'm sure in bullying also this is the same.
Yes. So in many cases, there is also a generalization, right? Women are always weak. See, it is not about physical strength we are talking about.
Yeah.
So when I say gender specific bullying, it happens both ways. We have cases where the females are bullying the male.
Yeah.
So many marital issues also come because of the domination.
Yeah.
So bullying is there in adults.
Yeah. So
it's there.
So one of the things we were talking about, Dr. Sushma, was you mentioned there aren't so many studies, but from what has been researched, about 30 to 36% of Indian children by the age of 15, 1 in 3 are actually they have experienced bullying.
Yes.
Am I correct?
Yes. UNICEF came up with this publication and this paper where they did mention 36%. It's alarming because it is more than the global average. And probably we are coming to know about it more now because the reach is there. They are aware, mental health awareness is there. Parents are more open to taking their children and trying to figure out what's happening.
Yeah.
And nowadays, I see a lot of children taking the responsibility and telling their parents that I need help, I need to see a therapist, I need to get well, I'm not okay with the way I'm living, I'm not fine. So I see a lot of teenagers being strong enough to say I need help and coming. Yeah. That's not easy. Many adults think a lot before saying that I need help. I see amazing, strong teenagers stepping up and saying, you know what, I can't take it anymore. Yeah. I don't know how to handle it. I need somebody.
I think one of the things that I've noticed shift a bit is that parents are also parenting a lot more. They're more involved with their children, but children are also more expressive. They're being taught to express at an earlier age. And that's a healthy trend, right? Despite what every other comment about the next generation is, I think this is something that I'm clearly observing. So hopefully it helps in this particular scenario.
Of course, yes. Yeah. See, when you're able to express more clearly, it becomes more easy to understand what the other person is going through. There is no guesswork involved here. And whenever you assume, it's wrong. It's especially in these scenarios where the minute you assume and if it is wrong, it is great injustice to the child that you are doing. So when children are taught to express themselves freely, when the parenting is done at home where you encourage the child to talk, where you encourage the child to talk about their feelings, it becomes much more easy to connect to the child.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I want to talk a little more about what you mentioned a little earlier, that it's become a part of your home. You can't escape bullying anymore if it happens to you, right? So what are the ways, the new age ways, the way people are being bullied today?
So cyberbullying is on the rise. See, you have so many platforms, right? My own clients, children have taught me some. They are there on Discord. There are so many multiverse. There are so many things. So these platforms is where the children get together. They talk. They post. And what they post is something that they are not okay with also sometimes. When they come home and they see there's already a post about something that has happened in school targeting them. So when they are back home also, in the safety of their room also, they are seeing those messages, those photos, and they're not okay with it. So this happens in Instagram, Discord. There's so many platforms.
And these are a lot of them are also private groups, closed groups.
Yes.
Now, this is the thing that I think UK has faced a lot, where they have suicide groups,
Yes.
they have bullying groups, which are private. So it's a lot that the app has to take responsibility for as well, right? Yeah.
See, when you mention that, one of the most important thing that I want to stress on is when the bullying is extreme and it has been persistent and consistent over a period of years. For example, I had a client, wherever she went, the bullying was there. So it is not just from the same school or the same child.
Okay.
Different schools, different children. So the bullying has been going on. So what happens is after a point of time, thoughts of self-harm, suicidal ideation comes, and you do have groups. You do have groups, those close groups, private groups. But what happens is when there's no proper guidance, instead of taking help from those groups, they feel motivated to do more. So proper guidance is very important. For example, when you're talking about self-harm, there are so many platforms which there are people who make a group and say they are into self-harm. And instead of helping each other, they motivate each other to do more. So we do have groups like that.
Yeah. And that age is such that you're quite dejected about a lot of things because it's irrational, right? Your hormones are all over the place and you're still growing. So cyberbullying is one which has become very common, and that involves one-on-one. Maybe it involves a group also ganging up against. Would you say that that's the most common way of bullying people?
One of the most common ways. The other is what happens, in the usual ways. You have physical bullying. You have verbal. You have non-verbal bullying. For example, you come and sit. I can just roll my eyes every time you come and sit. I can snigger with my friends. I can exclude you from games. When you are standing up and answering to a correct answer to a question, I can laugh with my friends. So even though the teacher is happy with you and you know you are given the right answer, you don't know why I'm laughing. And I do this over a period of time. You start thinking, you lose your self-esteem.
Yeah, that's a great example.
So non-verbal bullying. So I can, every time you come, I can like, I can just go away.
Yeah.
So I'm like, nah, not nice. Or I can just, laugh about you, talk gossip to somebody else. We have seen these.
Yeah.
So, and when they come and say, they don't get angry that we are doing that. Like when I'm doing this to you, you're not angry that I'm doing this. You are like, what is wrong with me? Am I doing something wrong? That self-questioning when it starts at a very young age, that is detrimental. That's not good.
So you mentioned that there was this one client of yours who was bullied wherever this person went. Why was that happening? Was there something that we can recognize in the personality of the person that allows for them to be bullied as well?
Yeah, that's right. So what happens is, see, when something is happening again and again and again, every problem has solution. Sometimes the problem is where you change your environment or you change yourself. So now, even though the environment has been changed consistently, the pattern is still repeating. That means I am doing something to give way to all this. So we work on the child to build how to answer. Sometimes it is just how you answer. For example, if I roll my eyes and you also roll yours, what happened? I will not do it again. I might not do it again. But if you cover and sit, you're giving me that power, and I'm going to just be okay with you because you're the only one who is giving me the power. So we have to help children understand that they don't have to give the power to somebody else all the time.
So cyberbullying, social bullying, physical bullying,
Verbal, non-verbal
bullying. Wow. So who's getting bullied more, men or women?
Actually, it is both, but nowadays boys are a bit more bullied and they are bullied by girls.
So girls are bullying boys more these days in the last few years. Tell us more, how does this happen?
It's how do I say? See, bullying generally we look at it as something that happens to a weaker person.
Yeah.
And we always assume the weaker sex is the female gender. But when we are talking about school children, it is not just gender specific. It's more about an ideal image. For example, nowadays we see it happens even in men, no? If we see a man or a boy being a little bit kind, considerate, or having a feminine side, that is taken into bullying because you're supposed to be macho. So we see a lot of that in teenagers also
these days.
Yeah.
It's in schools a lot. Boys are coming up and
Yes.
talking to you all that
Yes.
girls are bullying.
Yes. It takes some time for them also to open up.
Yeah, of course I can understand.
Yeah, because it's an image that they have, right?
Yeah.
And now to say that this is happening, am I not strong enough? Am I not male enough? So there are a lot of questions on that.
So can you give us an example of like how a female is bullying a male child?
A male child. Say, we had a case where there was a 7-year-old boy, and the child was a very sweet child who used to be active, but lately started isolating and withdrawing, and at home started behavior which was aggressive, frustrated. So the mother tried to question, nothing happened. The child came. As we started working with the child, we realized that there were these girls in the class who used to ask him all the time, like, you come out with us, we'll go here, we'll go there. One girl in particular, and he would say, no, my mom, my parents won't allow. So they started targeting him for that. Oh, you are not, boy enough. The other boys are doing. If you kiss me, where will you kiss me? And he's like, oh, I'll kiss on the cheek. What is this? You don't know anything. So there's that awareness that is there on that side is not here.
Yeah.
So when they come to know that the boy doesn't know anything, they started targeting him for his gender.
Yeah.
You're not boy enough. See, and they started spreading it to other boys. So they started calling him a girl. He doesn't know anything.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a cascade.
Yeah.
So on one side, we are happy that this child is innocent. He's keeping up his childhood. He's in 7th standard. On the other side, there is a dilemma because he's facing so much.
Yeah.
Which is not right.
Yeah. And a lot of information is there with children these days, right?
Oh, they know everything.
And there's a lot of sexual knowledge also, which has reached them too early.
Too early.
Right? And those are the expectations, I think, in terms of behavior.
Yes.
Yeah. But is this predominantly in a co-ed school, right? This kind of an example would probably be relevant more there. Yeah.
Yes, because there are boys and girls here. Yeah. But co-ed, even if you put the child in an all girls or an all boys, it's going to be more. See, always when there's a group, you need to have a mix to balance it out, to know how. That's how we learn.
The gender
learning. Yeah. It's a social learning.
Yeah, very true.
So for children, you can't teach them with theory. You have to teach them with experience, and that comes in school and home and other environments.
So tell me why in India this continues to exist, right? Is there something culturally that we have, behaviorally and attitudinally, that contributes to bullying?
Power control. It depends on a lot what is taught at school.
So we have a lot of power distance. And for our listeners, power distance is how far I keep the person reporting to me or who's so-called in a role, which is slightly below me, right? Like a parent, child, uncle, niece, or a boss and a reportee. Your power distance cultures are greater in Asia, I think, right? And South Asia.
Yeah.
Do you think, because we do that at home?
Yes.
We copy our parents in school and try to dominate others. I'm just trying to sort of gather.
It's not it's copying, yes, but the word we can use is we are role playing or mirroring what we learn.
Sure.
See, for children, no, you have a very dominant mother and a very submissive father. We don't know which the child is going to imbibe. We can't always say the child will follow the mother or the child will follow the father. The child can imbibe any behavior. If he feels that this is what is going to get me power, he might become aggressive and behave like the mother, where the dominant nature is there. And most of the time, it's a survival.
Yeah.
So if I'm going to be dominant, I'm going to get it. I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
And because that's the only way I feel I can get work done, because I've not seen any other way. That's where the home environment plays a very, very, very big role. For example, in the seventh standard boy, the child has been brought up well. He is age appropriate. He knows what he has to know for that age. He doesn't know. So now we have to work with the child to make him strong enough to say, just because you know and I don't know doesn't make me. So we have to work with the child.
Yeah.
Not to increase knowledge in that area, but to make him feel that you're doing very fine for this age, not an issue. So here it's not the home environment, it's the external environment.
Got it.
But in that case, we don't know from where they are picking up. How much social media are they watching? What is the content they are watching? So the home environment plays a very, very big role.
And that's unique to India in that sense that we have a different culture of family
Yes,
setup. Right?
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Our family setup is actually amazing. See, there are flaws, I'm not saying no, but our parenting style has been pretty good to ensure that we are resilient. I would like to use the word resilient because somewhere, even if we fail, we know that we will dust ourselves, get up, and we'll move forward. We don't give up.
Yeah.
So that resilience is something that we have learned from our family culture. And I'm stressing, yes, there are flaws, not like 100% family culture has been good, but somewhere that is better when we compare it to the any other forms of parenting.
Yeah. So that's great to understand, right? How is it that, or let me ask this question. Do we tend to, that is education institute, as well as parents, do we overlook bullying a lot?
Sometimes we do because it is not obvious. It's very subtle. It's at the low level. And also sometimes we are okay with the power play.
Yeah.
We say it's okay, he's the boss, he's a leader, she's taking charge. So we are okay with the power dynamics. But we don't understand to what level the child is affected. For example, if the boy says, you know what, I'm going to take the lead on this game, you're happy that he's taking the lead, and we tell everybody follow him. But what kind of leader is he?
Yeah.
That feedback mechanism is something that we can work on.
Sure.
So the schools and even at home, that feedback mechanism, you're a good leader, fine, but there's a way to be a good leader.
Yeah.
I think that power play has to be taught to children.
So when number one, I think I'm not sure if everybody comes out and talks that they're being bullied or even recognize that they're being bullied.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right? That's another gap. But when they actually take that courageous step to go to an authority or a parent, at that point, do they get dismissed? Are you noticing,
Yeah. And that stops them from coming back again.
Yeah.
So many a times, so see, even in schools, right? See, there's a lot of work that teachers are doing nowadays.
Yeah.
Teachers' job is also not easy.
Right.
They are having a lot of responsibilities. It's a lot now.
Yeah.
So when suddenly a child comes and says, each teacher will respond in a different way. And even though they might have the best interest in mind, might be that's not what the child needs to hear at that moment.
Yeah.
Each child will want something different.
Yeah.
And for us to shift our gears depending on which child is coming and asking is very important.
Yeah.
So probably I can come to the teacher and say, you know what, ma'am, he said something I didn't like. As a teacher, the person will like, it just said something, right? Okay, ignore, just don't bother. Probably the child is waiting for the teacher to ask, okay, what happened?
Yeah.
That I can tell you that for the past 1 year he has been doing this. But if I'm dismissed, I will feel, okay, probably it's not as big. Or she feels that, it's not important. So the child will go off.
That sheer size of the classroom.
Yeah.
100 students to one teacher is
Yeah.
just impossible, right? There's a lot of things to evolve in our school setups also, I suppose.
In some schools now, they do have a cap. 30 students, 25 students, right? Different sections, they do have. But even then, somewhere the connect has to be formed. So there are, nowadays we have started, there are a lot of teacher workshops.
Yeah.
School workshops where we empower teachers how to pick up signals. We have workshops for children where we tell them that, if the teacher is not ready to listen, sometimes you have to put in an extra word.
Correct.
Might be she didn't get that. So put in that word. Approach an adult, a counselor, somebody, so that they know that if this door is not opening, there's one more door, so that they don't stop.
They don't allow it to continue,
Yes,
right?
that is something that they
So let's pick on signs. How do we know and observe at our homes or in schools that somebody is being bullied? What are the clear signs?
Behavior change will be there. Emotional change. Say for example, if it's a young child, things are getting lost, things are getting broken, we don't know what the bully is doing. Okay, unable to complete notes on time, not able to concentrate in class, marks are decreasing, either wants to be isolated, irritated at home. When you ask what's happening, doesn't tell. Okay, always a bit sad, gloomy, or because they can't show their aggression at school, extreme aggression at home. It's a displacement. I can't hit back at my bully, so I'm going to hit back at home because I don't know what
to my younger brother or my parents or my friends around in my locality. Okay. So, but then that can also just be an aggressive behavior, right? So how do we sort of distinguish that it could be a case
because of the
bullied?
bullying? One is you can just ask at school how the child is doing. Ask a teacher, is my child aggressive at school? Is he or is she okay? Or the next thing is, see, it all depends on how good the connect is with the child.
Yeah.
So the families, if they have built a good foundation with the child, where the child has a good connect with one of the parents, the task becomes easy because nobody can answer you better than the child himself. To tell that, you know what, this is what I'm going through and I'm so angry with it. So to build that trust, it's very important for the home environment. The parents have to build that foundation.
Okay. See, I mean, these are so subtle. It could mean anything, right? So the best thing to do for parents, I suppose, is to always pay attention. Keep conversing with the child, right? That is it about bullying, or it could be something else altogether.
It could be anything. It is not just bullying. It could be about anything. And I'm not saying that, be 100% on into your child, your world is your child. I'm not saying that. It is not quantity, it is quality. Even if you're giving the 10 minutes, the 10 minutes is devoted to your child. The child has to feel that my parents, they are not looking at time. They are just looking at the moment. So I tell the parents, even if it is for a walk, 5 minutes walk, take your child out for a walk. And if there are 2 kids or 3 kids at home, one child at a time.
And I know somebody who did that with 4 kids, very senior person in a global role, etc.
Okay.
She would dedicate slots.
Yeah.
And she'd say, no, I want to have that one-on-one time, right? These are things we do in office.
Yes.
Why can't we do it?
Yes.
Right?
We have one-on-one
practices,
Correct.
right?
Correct.
Yeah.
It makes a lot of sense for the child.
Yeah.
See, when I have a lot of people are there in class. There are many people at home, but when I have that one-on-one, especially evening time, evening and night is where the emotions are a bit more. You're more free with your emotion. So I tell them, take your child out. Same with your spouse. Go for a walk with your spouse. Spend that time. In that 5-10 minutes, your child will definitely slip up something. Hold on to that and work with your child. Your child will open up to you. And they're not looking for solutions. They're not looking for answers. They want someone to side with them and say, you know what? Yes, you're going through something. I think that is first step in addressing bullying as such. For the child who's getting bullied and for the bully also.
Yeah, and we'll talk more about that, right? Just what parents can actually step in and do, right? So what are the short-term, let's say actually, what are the long-term effects of bullying, right? Short-term, we understand it's a lot of distress, like you just mentioned the different signs. They're not able to function effectively, right? But long-term, if this is ignored, what happens?
Very interesting because I currently have a 28-year-old client who's coming to me and has a lot of depression, anxiety, can't make eye contact. Like if you say like, Mona, what is this? You will just look down. You feel like
Back was this person bullied?
When he was in 8th, 9th.
And it persists even now as a personality behavior.
So it leads to personality disorders. It leads to depression, anxiety, stress, unable to maintain relationships, unable to assert oneself, unable to maintain group dynamics, engage in social settings.
Wow.
All these you're breaking down a person completely. And that's not fair.
Actually, in families, right, where you have been brought up well with a good value system, when you're being bullied, something inside you tells you, I'm not that. I am not what they are telling me, right? It has such a connect with your deep values, what you were taught in the first few years of your life. The grandparents, the stories they told you, everything matters. Suddenly you start saying, hey, that's whatever that person saying, it's not what I am. I know who I am, right? So how do we develop a sense, help the child develop a sense of self, become so crucial, right? In their
That's a wonderful point because when they develop this sense of self, they will not stop asking for help. They will reach out. They will say, you know what, this is happening to me and I'm not okay with it. I need to get out of this. So they will not stop until they ask. They get the help they want. We have seen children who have been resilient. It's a wonderful point you've made, Mona, because that value system that parents instill, again, it's not because you're spending time, one full day. It is not that buying them things. No, it is how you make the child feel about themselves. Autonomy. When they are toddlers, when they, enter nursery, how they are made to feel that independence, that reassurance, that praise, scolding, everything matters a lot.
And some of these things, right? The way they manifest in the decisions, the choices we make later, the partner we choose. Because you're submissive, because you are okay getting bullied. There's that level of acceptance that you continue to get bullied also, right? The partner you choose will naturally be a dominating person.
You choose such a person.
Yeah, because you're used to thinking that's what you deserve. At some level, it comes down to what you think you deserve.
It's comfort also. No? We know this is how it's going to be. So it's your nervous system is choosing again a very comfortable hell.
Yeah.
So it is not that the person is asking for it. It is not the victim's fault, but it happens because they still haven't broken the pattern.
Wow.
In adult, bullying is also termed as harassment, right?
Yeah. When it comes to value system, one of the key things that in an Indian setup, and this is what I always tell my own family as well, is there is a right and there is a wrong.
Yeah.
But what happens culturally, right? Going back to what we were just discussing some time back, we are okay because we interact with so many family members. When they mistreat us, your adults are telling you normally it's okay, let it go. They're your aunt, they're this, they're that. So you're already mentally thinking, I'll take some disrespect, it's okay. That culturally is not right. I don't know why we are taught to tolerate disrespect a lot,
It's generational also, right?
Very true.
Our probably the parents were also taught to tolerate it, and they feel that's the right way. So culturally, we are doing the right thing according to them. That's where boundaries become very important. See, the amount of disrespect that you can also take. For example, a family function, and there's a comment that's passed. How much of the comment is okay, how much of it is not okay, is a very important decision for the parents to make.
Yeah.
Because the child is going to watch it and observe and say that this is where I have to draw the line. So the next time someone says this, I can go tell my parent and they're going to address it.
Yeah.
They are not going to ask me to say it's okay, be quiet, it's okay, chalta hai. So that boundary, drawing the boundary around oneself is something parents have to teach the child very early on. And how do they teach the child? It is through experiential learning. They observe, they watch, they see how you are drawing your boundaries. How much you are ready to take up, and then they draw. So it becomes very important at home to instill these values.
Yeah. So I wanted to actually talk about it later, but let's talk about it now, right? Since we're on this. So the role of a parent. One important thing that you talked about is in an Indian context, particularly, to be open to the value system we are instilling in children, right? And they have to teach their child to draw boundaries, irrespective of who it is, right? It could be your aunt, your friend, your best friend. Who could be bullying you, a lot of things, right? What else can parents do? And let's break it into two scenarios, right? If my child is being bullied, what can parents do to get them out of it?
Okay, if this is happening at school, anywhere, right? See, the location matters.
Yeah, okay.
Right? Environment matters. If it's at school, like how it happened, you change the school or you empower your child to handle the bullying. For example, in like first standard, second standard, we had a case where the group of boys used to laugh at me. They laugh at me when I run. They laugh at me when I kick the ball. So we came up with something simple. Okay, let us try this before we change the school. He didn't want to change the school also. So why don't you, when they laugh at you, you also just laugh and say, what, I ran funny. I ran like you. Some simple statements where they also feel he's also part of the group.
Yeah.
So we came up with some scenarios, examples, and the child settled. But if the bullying is extreme, where it is targeted with a means to just completely rattle that person and break them down, probably we can work with the school, but we don't know how much it will backfire to the child.
Okay.
See, there's always a fear. What if the bullies bully me more? That's why they don't tell also. What if I complain and it happens more? What if I'm targeted in some other way? I'm made to sit separately. So I'm isolated again. I may not be bullied, but I'm being isolated. So changing school can help, or getting the right help at the school for the victim and the bully also helps.
Yeah.
Where the other children also learn the lesson that they can get punished, not that the victim goes away.
Yeah.
So there are different dynamics that we work with. In other scenarios, say for example, it's happening in a playground or at home.
Yeah.
Like you mentioned, in a playground, if it's happening, in many cases, in playground nowadays, I'm seeing power dynamics of parents also. So parents are also, you go, you don't allow, you do this. So we see a lot of parents also doing the dynamic. So we have to first check exactly what's happening and empower our child there also. If it is happening in a home setup, where the relatives are doing it, As parents, you can either talk to the relative and say that, you know what, my child is not comfortable and I'm not okay with you doing this to my child. So when the child knows that you have stood up for him or her, there's more satisfaction that, oh yeah, I'm right. I'm not wrong.
Supporting your children, right? Where it's really
At the right moment is very important for them to gain the trust in you. So they'll come to you when the time is essential for them.
Yeah, so true, right? And what about this is for the child that was bullied? Let's say, what is the role of what can parents do if their child is bullying another?
One thing is they have to first look at the child and see from where the child is modeling this behavior. From where is this hunger for power coming?
Yeah.
Or what is the child not okay with? See, a bully is formed due to many reasons. One, it could be to gain control, assertion to say that, you know, I'm the best. It's reinforcing one's own image. Some needs which are not met at home or at school, this is the way they are doing it.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of arenas that we have to look at the child also when it comes to bullying.
Yeah.
Probably the parents have to sit with the child and first understand what is the modeling behavior. When they become a teenager, it's going to be even more difficult. It's going to be even more difficult because there are a lot of layers to go through. But if it is a much younger child,
Yeah.
example in the, till 6, 7, it becomes easier to connect, much, not very easy, but a little easier to connect and work with the child to say that this has consequences and this is not something that we are going to be okay with. Hurting another person is not fine. Again, boundaries have to be set. The parents and the school have to set boundaries. At the same time, not isolate the child. Give a group to the child so that the child can work with somebody else. Isolation as a punishment will
Doesn't
not help. Yeah.
So that's a very good point because typically when we do something wrong, our parents in India they use harsh words or they punish us, and punishment can is a completely different topic altogether.
Yeah.
But what you're trying to say is still be connected to the child, communicate with them, and help them get out of it. To set that expectation that what they're doing is not acceptable.
Yeah.
Right. Would you also say it's healthy that parents of bullied of the bully should reach out to the parents of the child who's getting bullied?
They can and they can work together. But it completely depends on the parent.
It's not, in your experience, has that been common, uncommon?
Very uncommon.
Because everybody thinks
Yeah.
the child is the best, right?
Yes.
That's the problem.
See, many a times what has happened is after a point the child is not there in the picture. It is the parents who are actually, they are like, there's a lot of things that goes on.
Wow, my child, your child kind of.
Yeah. So that's why I mentioned in the playground also, right? Two kids are fighting for a swing. Suddenly the kids are not fighting. It's the parents who are fighting. My kid came first, your kid came second. And by then the two kids are happy playing with each other somewhere else.
Yes, yes.
Yes. So we have seen all these scenarios, and so somewhere it depends on the parents also. See, you need to put your child before you, and somewhere you have to allow your child to fight their own battle. We need to know when to step in. So the first step is to empower your child, whether it's a bully or the victim. Empower your child. If you feel even then things are not fine, then you step in and take charge. Give the chance to your child.
That's a great point. That's so valuable point. Right? But be there for them during that entire time, right? I think if I just sort of reflect back, right, at least at my own life, I feel like I never felt comfortable to go talk about these different aspects with my parents because they didn't know that part of my life.
Yeah.
So hopefully, and that's a generational thing that you mentioned. And they were not, they just wanted your marks. They wanted you to sleep on time, get up on time, just eat, go, be disciplined, right? But things are not so simple.
Yeah. See, that's what, earlier we had privacy at home. Once we get back home, school is somewhere, it's another world. The world shifted once we came home.
Yeah.
There were so many other things once we came home. It's not the same now.
And we did like a conversation with a neurologist. She was so good. She talked about how everything is about digital setups at home now, right? Everyone is snubbing each other.
Yeah.
That is apparently called phone snubbing. Your parents themselves are phone snubbing you. So they're not paying attention. Do you feel that those behaviors have a role in not identifying signs quickly?
Yeah, because you see, even to identify signs, you need to be clued in.
Yeah.
Subtle. Most of the signs, when you're going through a very harrowing experience, sometimes the signs are very subtle. You need to know your child in and out to pick up those signs. How will you know it when you have not observed the child? And nowadays, digital, it's there everywhere. You don't find any even simple thing, for even for the viewers, when you go out for a dinner, lunch, breakfast, you see how many families are there without touching their phone. Somewhere the phone is part of the family. And you have 7-year-olds having their own mobile.
Yeah, absolutely not okay, right?
So when we are talking about something big like bullying, see, there is no mindfulness also that's happening for us to even work on something. Yeah. So this digital is a very big thing. Yeah. And it's going to be it is a necessary evil, but I don't know to how much extent we have to, in what way we have to balance it.
But so I'm observing something which in my circle, my sister or some of my friends, up to the age of 4, they're not allowing 4, 5, they're not putting TV on in front of the child. Yeah. What's happening interestingly in the child is when the phone is there, they're not running for it. So there is a certain neurobiology, if that's even the right term, where they've developed in such a way that they're not getting carried away or they're not getting attracted in a negative way to that gadget. They have some sense of self-control. It's unbelievable. If you just let them be away from these gadgets, when they approach the gadget at an older age, they deal with it.
Yeah. When when we take off all the medical jargon. Yeah. When you take off all the medical jargon, you have a child who has been given mobile. Yeah. What happens is, I'm only seeing this. I'm learning from this. I'm not getting any sensory. I have nothing to learn from. Yeah. But when I get such a big playground, and after 4-5 years, to give me a mobile where I have to sit in one place, I'm going to run around. I'm not going to go there and sit in one place. Yeah. Yeah. So that helps.
And that's why I think cyberbullying is a lot more, right? What is the worst case that you have handled of cyberbullying? Can you share an example?
Cyberbullying. Yeah. So we had this. Some of these games are also cyberbullying, no? Where it asks you to do certain commands and all that. Yeah. So we had a child, a girl. She was around 12 or 13. This happened last year. She was around 12 or 13. Came to us because she's not eating properly, not sleeping. Parents were worried. So we did all the physical tests and everything was okay, except for the fact that she's losing weight. Then when I started working with her, addicted to phone all the time. When I told her parents no screen time, she literally went into rage. She didn't want to leave it. So we started working with her, and then we came to know that if she's not part of this group, if she doesn't do what they say, she is being excluded from groups. She's made to do certain things like steal money, and then she feels guilty because she's doing this against her parents' wish. She's supposed to wear certain things that she doesn't want to wear. She has to cut her hair, which she doesn't want to. Just all that so that she fits into the clique. And this has been happening for just 6 months, and the child was not able to take it. Yeah. When I asked her why, okay, generally we don't ask why you didn't tell anybody. But over a course of time, when we get comfortable with the child and we ask her, like, what could have made you open up a bit faster? Right. She was like, I don't know.
You don't even know.
Yeah.
I can.
Yes. Yeah. I didn't know that, this is going to, I just wanted to be part of it. It became so much in my life.
Oh, so she didn't know that the problem could become
that. Oh. And also that this is a problem, like you rightly mentioned. She didn't think that it got sucked in so much. So then it started working on her boundaries. So, and also nowadays parents, they are forced to give the child mobile because most of the academic happens there. So we are now working with schools also to tell them, do it in the diary, write it in the diary.
Let's talk about that. What are the effective ways that schools or any sense of authority, right? Like if I'm sending my child to like a sport as an extracurricular activity and something happens there, what is a so-called authority's responsibility and effective strategies they can use to stop bullying or to address it at least?
One is they can have a lot of workshops at school. They can have committees in school, student committees who take part in it. They can have awareness programs, school counselors who can work with children, teachers, if they see something is happening, put a point across to the students committee so that they can take care. And also they will identify children who are a bit aggressive, who are doing this on the field. Talk to them, help them understand. At the same time, to reduce academic load on the digital part of it. See, you have textbooks, now I understand that you have to research on the net, all that is important. But an instruction can be told to the parents and let them use the laptop or the desktop in your presence, otherwise we will not. I don't know, something. Yeah. Anything so that the child doesn't use the cell phone. because now it's easy to break barriers also. Even if you put filters, the children can break barriers. Some of them do know, some don't know, but then they come up with different ways. And sometimes even parents have to step up and learn different, security systems so that the child is taken care.
Yeah.
At the same time, school can reduce the workload on the digital part of it, where they can send it on a diary, or they can mention, please use laptop, not the phone.
That was an amazing conversation. I can't believe we spent so much time, right? It's such an engaging topic, right? But just in closing, as we come towards the end of, this really, really important topic, Dr. Sushma, what are one or two sentences or words that our listeners should know that a person who's being bullied should speak and can speak, and it helps them deal with that situation?
You mean to say how they can retaliate?
Yeah.
At that moment?
Yeah.
Okay. That's little difficult, because it is so situational. Say for this young child, if I remember, when they laughed, he also laughed, it got over. But if that happens when they're in middle school or in the teenage years, it's going to be taken. But somewhere to stop and stand and say, you know what, no, I don't like it. And walking off probably helps.
Yeah.
We have children who say, I'm better off alone than being with them. We have such strong children. Probably saying no, not me.
Not me,
Not
right?
me.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
me. Yeah.
We have to do another role play for that,
Yeah.
I think. Right?
Yeah. Not me.
Great, great. It was so nice listening to you, and it's such an important topic. Vitamin B is the name of our channel, as you're aware. There are 3 or 4 important aspects around well-being that we have defined. So we want to ask you, 2, 3 questions, right? Just your personal mantras, right?
Yeah.
So how do you, Dr. Sushma, manage yourself, right? Essentially, starting with your own emotional health. Is there a mantra that you use to take care of yourself?
Yes. I listen to music, I walk, or I talk. I have my village.
Yeah.
All of us need our village.
Yeah.
Right? So I have a very strong village. Right. On the days that I need emotional health, I have my village to fall back on.
That's wonderful. What about your physical health? How do you take care?
At least half an hour walking is a must.
Yeah.
Gym, nah. So walking and eating healthy. Because when we are talking about positive into your mind, you need positive into your body also.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you have to be conscious about your body. It is not to look good or anything. It is just to feel good.
Yeah.
So healthy eating and a little bit of walking here and there. Yeah.
And what about, the way you give back to others? Is there anything, of course, your profession inherently has such a beautiful way of serving others, right? But is there anything else you do?
Every single day, okay, I ensure that at least one person goes back knowing that I am there to help them. That is a big thing for me. It can be either a client, it can be a family member, or it can be my colleague. But at least one person at the end of the day, I need to know that I have done some justice for that one person.
Yeah.
So, and go to sleep with a prayer saying thanks. Otherwise, you can't do all this.
Yeah.
You need a lot of blessings for that.
Absolutely. And it's a hard job to keep listening to people, right, and processing that.
Yeah.
So the last question, one of the things we always talk about is that, you have all of these things, but if your financial well-being is not in place also, even if you have a physical fitness, you have lots of friends, it can cause this balance.
Yes.
So what is your so-called financial fitness mantra that you follow?
I follow what my parents used to do.
Okay.
If I earn 10 rupees, I'll spend 3 rupees. Other 7 rupees, I'll give it to my husband. Or I will save it so that, it gets balanced.
Is it saving or investing? What?
Invest and saving, both.
Both. Okay. Great. Wonderful. So on that note, it's good to always get to know the guests a little more, and it's always helpful for people, right?
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us. It's been a pleasure to listen to an important topic like this, Doctor.
Thank you, Mohana, because see, you picked a very unique topic actually. Bullying has different antennas and tentacles. We have spoken about sexual abuse, we have spoken about harassment, we have spoken about stress, anxiety, depression, but the very concept of bullying as a niche, I think it's a wonderful topic that you have picked, and thanks for giving me a chance.
No, absolutely. I have faced bullying as well when I was younger. And then you learn to deal with it, right? And somehow we were more resilient, I feel.
Yes.
We didn't have to go tell our parents everything. We learned to deal with it, learn to cut off, learn to involve, and continuously make your own friends, like you said, right? Get your own tribe, your own village as well, and learn to live life as a decent human being, Before I go, right, as a closing question, Have you noticed a bullied child who became a bully?
Yeah.
Does that happen?
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. I had one who changed school and said, I couldn't do it there. I'm going to do it here so that I get power.
So that happens,
yeah.
right? So it's also a learned behavior. You think that
Yeah, that's the only way to see. That's the only way I can exert power. I can get that autonomy. I can get that recognition.
it's
Yeah.
compensating, I think. Right?
Yes.
What is the psychological term for a behavior like I was ill-treated, so I will. So that happens with rape victims, if I'm correct, right? Like male rape victims, I've read, they then start raping others, right?
Yeah. So in bullying, this happens, but not predominantly because they are so busy solving their own internal that sometimes it doesn't happen. But we do have cases where this displacement does happen, this role reversal does happen, where the victim becomes the
Perpetrator.
Yeah.
Wow. So on that note, thank you, and we hope to have you back again.
Thank you, Mohana. It was wonderful connecting.
Same here.
Thank you.